SEO is super simple. In the next 3 minutes, I'm going to show you how to create an answer engine for your website so that you can reach more targeted, qualified customers every day. I'm Janet Bartoli. I teach SEO to business owners like you, and I remove the Google overwhelm that invariably happens and the confusion that SEO lives in, and I show you how to simply apply basic SEO tactics that actually get you new customers. Today, it's all about the content cluster framework. Now, if you're not familiar with the content cluster framework, it basically is a method that I use for my clients and the way that we help them understand how to reach a new qualified targeted audience. Now, at the end of the day, SEO is about content. It's about many other things, of course, but if you have no content in your website, you are virtually invisible. And if you are maybe on a Squarespace page or maybe a Wix page where it's just one long page and that's all you have, then that is all that Google can see to crawl and rank and index. So that is why you need to create a content cluster framework. So let me explain exactly what that is. It is essentially, it allows you to have a universe of content. So if you look here, what I did was you've got this pillar page. And so the pillar page is really sort of an overview of a topic. You can have many different pillar pages in your website. Let me give you an example. Let's say you're a chiropractor and you will help you, many of your patients experience certain types of injuries. Specifically, maybe you get a lot of auto injury patients. So now we've got the overview topic that is auto injuries. And so there's many different types of injuries you can sustain if you're in an auto accident. So to kind of help narrow it down, you've got these sort of other more targeted, focused content clusters. And so you've got this pillar page here, and then we're talking about when you're in a car accident, you will sustain some type of injury. And maybe one of those injuries that you might sustain is a back pain that you might have that occurs in that auto accident. So now I'm writing on the topic of auto injury from a chiropractic perspective. And in there, we're talking about the different types of injuries, what you should do, maybe all of those things, but it's a very broad overview of the topic itself. Now, I'm going to link out to some what I call these cluster pieces or these content clusters. And there's sort of these sub pages that are very relevant to the pillar page. They are super targeted and they're very focused. They are a subtopic, as I mentioned, of that main pillar page. They are also interlinking. There is an interlinking that occurs because one of the things that not only are visitors, of course, as they see something that is relevant, they want to be able to link back to, or they want to be able to find other content. And so when you're writing a very good piece of content, you're thinking about the visitor. So if there is another related great piece of content that has something to do with what you're talking about that you want them to know about, you would create a hyperlink, which is really a link on the page that links to another internal page in your website. So for example, if I'm on this pillar page and I'm reading about auto injuries that I could be maybe experience in some way, and maybe one of those has to do with back pain. And so maybe I'm experiencing back pain and I didn't tie it to the fact that, I was in a car accident, maybe that has something to do with it. There is a link that goes to the back pain auto injury cluster of content. And so this is very super targeted and very focused. It doesn't have to be very lengthy. You could have a YouTube video in there describing, if you're the chiropractor, what the treatment might look like. And maybe the process that someone would go through if they're experiencing back pain. Maybe you would also want to include very specifically certain immediate things that you would want to do, whether it's ibuprofen or how to sit upright, or maybe they need to get to see a physician immediately because of certain things that are occurring, whatever the case. but it's very specific to back pain only. And then I've got another one, muscle spasms. So again, maybe their patients are experiencing muscle spasms as a result of that car accident. So again, that is the content cluster that we're linking from the pillar page. And in these, I also have neck pain and I also have whiplash. Okay. Now, there may be some related conversation in these pages, which allows me the ability to interlink them. So if I'm talking about whiplash, for example, and I say that if you experienced whiplash in your car accident, you may also be experiencing some neck pain, and now I'm going to link out to the neck pain page. This isn't anything that is wrong or negative. You always have to think about your visitors first. If you can take care of your visitors' questions and their search concerns, you're going to be able to do really well in Google because that's at the end of the day what Google cares about. Are you helping your visitors? This is not about trying to set up some private blog network and really trying to trick the search engines. It's really purely only to serve your potential new customers, or in this situation, patients. So this is what we're trying to accomplish. And we do that through very specific content that it is that they're looking for. So this type of cluster content generally has a higher monthly search volume that's associated with it because again, people are looking for a very specific type of content. So for example, if you don't have these pieces of content and all you have is this pillar page, but you're not able to go in depth and detail on a specific topic or subtopic, it's going to be hard for you to really rank well for muscle spasms as a result of a car accident or auto injury, for example. Use it to answer the queries, the specific questions that your customers are coming to you about. This is a great opportunity for you to answer those questions in these subtopics. You can also have in there, as part of your YouTube channel strategy, which again I highly recommend you have your YouTube channel content aligned with your blog content. The two of them will work really well together. So you have a video in there. You then have the opportunity to have a suggested clip, which is what Google will say. Again, if I'm searching for muscle spasms, how do I treat a muscle spasm from my auto injury? I might have a YouTube video where it's going to have a suggested clip and it's going to trigger it right at the moment that I'm talking about when you're experiencing muscle spasms during, following a car accident, for example. There's also the opportunity, if you are familiar with featured snippets, a very great opportunity because you're answering something very specific that somebody is searching for. So I hope that this has been helpful to you. My name is Janet Bartoli. If you want any other detailed information or content specifically to helping to grow your audience through search engine optimization, I highly recommend you check out my Super Simple SEO workshop. It's at supersimpleseoworkshop.com. It's just $37, it's one-time payment, and every month I do things like this. I go live with all of my students and we talk through certain SEO challenges. I answer all of your SEO questions. Hope this was valuable for you. If you have any other questions or if you're doing something like this, drop a line below and let me know.